Even today, Jesus visits people with his healing touch. Miss Philo and Mr. James Sim tell us how they were touched by the divine healer.
My name is Philo. I was born and brought up in a poor family. My house is in Karnataka. I have my parents and we are 5 children. All of them are educated. Only I didn't study. When I was 16 years old, I came to the Adoration Convent to work. I worked well from 68 to 80. In 1980, I fell sick. Both my kidneys stopped functioning. Many doctors said that I wouldn't live.
We concluded from our first examination that Philo had an incurable disease called Naxotic syndrome, which affects both kidneys, and the disease had progressed for about 12 years. Swelling of the body, albumin and blood in the urine, recurring illness, a disease that wasn't being cured in spite of taking different medicines. These were the symptoms. There weren't any medicine for this disease at that time. And Philo was a young woman who had all these complaints.
I am the one who took her to the medical college first. A doctor examined her and said that both her kidneys were damaged. They said she would not live much longer, but they would try to give her some treatment. There wasn't much change in spite of their treatment. Finally, the doctor said she wouldn't live for more than 3 months. In this condition, the sisters took me to be prayed over at a place called Marutangara. There we prayed. While we were praying, a huge man walked towards me. It was while we were praying that this man came towards me. He came to me on 3 days. When he came, he had a big ball in his right hand, different colored balls. I have gone to many places, but I have never seen a ball like that. I felt a power flowing to me from that ball. I told them that power was coming forth from the ball. They told me that it must be because of the dialysis. Because I knew that, I didn't say anything. After some time, the power from the ball stopped, and the man walked away from me. They took me and made me lie down. The next day, we came once more to pray. While we were praying, the man came again into the room. When he came close, I saw a needle and thread in his right hand. In his left hand, there was a stick. He came close and stood leaning against the desk. Lowering the stick, he took something curved like a cashew nut and held it close to the stick. He was sewing it with the needle and thread. When he finished stitching one side, he started on the other side. I told them what I was seeing. A moment later, I felt someone stabbing me in my back even as I was lying down on the sofa. Immediately I cried out, "Jesus!" They asked me what had happened. I told them everything. When I had finished, the man moved 2 steps backward, and I felt he was looking at me seriously. I told them, "Today he is looking at me seriously." Those who were praying for me said, "Pay attention, don't be afraid. We won't let you go." The man went away. I never saw him after that. After the prayer, they made me lie down. The next day, when we came to pray, there were around 15 people in the group who were praying together for me. While we were praying, a man called Thomachan took a Malayalam Bible and gave it to me. I looked at him and said that I was not literate. I felt sad when I was given a book to read. I had never read any language till then. But he made me take the Bible and placed it in my lap. He requested me many times to open it. I gave in to the pressure and opened the Bible. I got the Gospel of John chapter 2. Even as I opened it, I knew this was the Gospel of John and that it was chapter 2. I concentrated well. Thomachan helped me and I read the whole chapter. I don't know how I read it. It was the first time I had read Malayalam like that. I didn't even know how to speak Malayalam well. We had immigrated to Karnataka when I was just 6 months old. I used the Kannada and Tulu languages for speaking. I felt both happy and sad that I, who had studied no language, could read. I don't know how I did it. Thomachen told the sister to take me that very day to the convent. She came back very enthusiastically. Slowly, she started working as before. The swelling on her feet and face subsided. All her discomforts slowly faded. We took her to Calicut to see the doctor again. The doctor was happy at the improvement she showed. We took her at intervals again to the doctor. Finally, the doctor gave her a certificate saying she showed no symptoms of any illness.
The examination showed that she was completely cured. So, what I have to say is that though from what we saw, Philo's sickness was one that had no cure in medical science, we have to believe that God cured her. After falling sick and having both kidneys damaged, it is impossible for a person to have lived for 20 years like this.
God says, "Say, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is anything too hard for me?"
I believe that the healing Philo received is true, for the disease has not come back since then. I spoke to 2 persons who had prayed for her that day. I also spoke to the doctor who was treating her. From their witness and my personal experience, I understand that what Philo got was a healing from the Lord.
From that day till now, I have had no problem with my kidneys whatsoever. Jesus has given me better health, more happiness, and the willingness to work tirelessly.
Having received healing from her Lord, Philo now lives to proclaim her healer and his message of love to others.
Lamb of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Lamb of Lamb of God, have mercy on me, a sinner.